Alright everyone, you've had a second night of cringe morons rioting in Kenosha and attempting to riot in Milwaukee, but it looks like homeowners sort of prevented them from doing so much damage over this Jacobblake idiot, who by the way now we know, and my hot take from yesterday aged very gracefully overnight, we now know that Jacobblake indeed physically assaulted the officers who shot him before the altercation you saw the other day. If you only have one piece of footage, and it's of course either selectively edited or they started recording a little bit later, you didn't know that at first. Essentially, the initial story that we were presented with by the legacy media was an unarmed black man was shot in the back 7 times by officers. In other words, it's police brutality. It's an unjustifiable shooting. I instantaneously knew by looking at this footage, number one, the actions that I saw there, and number two, the wall of propaganda. It was a justified shooting. It was being used as fodder to try to increase the riot. See, the legacy media loves a good riot. It makes for good reporting. It's more exciting than the typical news, the typical horseshit that they put out. So they like crime. So if they can get people around Kenosha or whatever to riot, they're going to try to do it. They don't care if businesses suffer. They don't care if lives are lost. You saw immediately every Democrat in the country jumped aboard. We now know this dude was a wanted felon, a violent convicted rapist, with multiple domestic violence accounts against him. He was in the commission of a crime and wanted at the time the officers showed up, and then he attacked them. He attacked the officers physically. That's why their guns were drawn. Now, the initial hot take from people was, well, they just drew their guns and he was just trying to get away because he was afraid or something. That's not what happened. They drew their guns, and this is what I suspected, and now we know that this is indeed true, because he attacked them physically. They drew their guns, you're under arrest, it was a lawful arrest. He had already committed a violent crime. He had already attacked the officers, he was wanted for unrelated crimes. There was basically a street brawl going on. There was already a violent situation. They attempted to arrest him, he went around his car and attempted to enter it. If an officer has just been physically assaulted by an individual, there is a perfectly reasonable suspicion that if someone attempts to enter a vehicle, they're getting a gun, or a knife, or some other form of weapon, or they're going to try to go screeching off into the distance, possibly running people over during that process. I have no doubt when the toxicology report comes in for Jacobblake, you'll find that there were drugs in his system. Because a person doesn't act that erratically usually when they're sober, even if they are a felon. He might have said, well, shit, I'm under arrest, so he just started swinging. No, I think that you're going to find that there were some other things he could be charged with. So right now, you're looking at a minimum, in this dude's case, you would have the original charge, which I believe was domestic assault was the specific charge, or was with the section, I think it was domestic assault was the charge that it was specifically called in for. So they ran the plates, they knew he was a felon, so they started attempting to arrest him. Attack on a police officer, so assault, potentially DUI, probably reckless driving. You've got a laundry list of things. Let me ask the cringe left that's currently burning Kenosha to the ground in a frenetic display of abject stupidity this. If you're a felon and you assault the officers, what the fuck do you expect to happen? Does a reasonable person do that? It's not police brutality. He was attacking them. They were just doing their job trying to arrest the dude because there was a fucking outstanding warrant. So my hot take was 100% correct. This is a justified shooting. These officers aren't going to go to jail. And when either no charges are brought or they do a kangaroo court trial, which with a predetermined outcome, which is that they'll get exonerated on all charges because they did nothing fucking wrong in this case, when that ends up happening, there will then be another wave of riots. Just like when the officers in the George Floyd case at most get the lesser included charges, like third-degree manslaughter or something, reckless endangerment or something. And they'll get time served, probably, for that. Even if the judge throws the book at him. Derek Chauvin, he'll be out really quick, within a year or so. He's not going to a supermax for the rest of his life like they want under Murder 2. It's not going to happen. Because there's no reason for that to happen. No jury in the land is going to convict him on Murder 2. No jury in the land, if they are crazy enough to even bring this case forward into an actual court, the DA probably will refuse to prosecute. A judge would probably fucking toss the case out. If it goes to a jury trial, they'll get acquitted on all charges. What are you going to charge him with? What are you going to charge the officer with? Somebody throws a sucker punch up, you draw your gun, they're under arrest at that time, they're resisting arrest, they're endangering every fucker around them. The officer has a reasonable suspicion the person who has already acted violent and committed several felonies at the time is going to their car to get a firearm. I know I would. If I were the cop, or if I were a civilian in this situation, let's say that I go over. There are people fighting, and I'm like, hey, break it up. And someone throws a haymaker up at me. So I draw my gun and tell them, you know, fuck off, and they try to get into their vehicle. I'm going to blow them away. And I'll be justified in doing that, because the reasonable suspicion is they're trying to requisition a weapon. He's a felon. And not minor crimes. I'm not talking, oh, well, they ran the plates and found that he smoked weed 2 years ago. He was a jaywalker. A peeping Tom or something. I'm not talking about some minor misdemeanor. I'm talking significant felonies, rape, domestic assault, sexual assault, a laundry list of different charges. What the fuck are you supposed to... In the situation, what the fuck else could the officers do? They draw their guns. They drew their guns to defend themselves at that point. He had attacked first, apparently. He's brawling with them. I think tale is that they attempted to tase him and it didn't work, which is another reason to believe he was drugged at the time. Because typically people that are doped up to their eyeballs, the taser doesn't work so well. In fact, tasers should be phased out because they're fucking goddamn useless. You'd be better off using bear spray or something like that. Give him better mace. Give him more powerful mace or something like that, or you know, better baton. Tell them that they're allowed to pistol whip people. It'd be more effective than using a taser in most situations. Get a special nad crunching machine, a special little mallet that you use to hit him in the balls. Well, I mean, that wouldn't work for a female felon, but well, maybe. But it doubles as a boob puncher or something. This dude was justifiably shot. That's the long and short of it. And people say, you're a bootlicker. No, you're licking a bunch of commie boots. You're sitting there shitting up your own communities. You're attacking random civilians, fucking going crazy, burning a city down. You're not going to solve anything. The shooting was justified. It's not licking boots to say that officers should be allowed to defend their lives and those potentially, by the way, of those around them from someone who has already physically assaulted them and is wanted for a significant crime at the time. Again, he wasn't wanted for misdemeanor pot possession. This is apparently a long-term, felonious, violent individual. They ran the plates, they knew he was a fucking goddamn violent felon, they had a reasonable suspicion that he was going to continue attacking them, either with his vehicle or with a gun or something inside the vehicle. When he went around, he was resisting arrest at that time. They were justified in arresting him. Again, a wanted felon. He had charges against him already. He was already a fugitive from the law from the moment that this situation started. Perfectly justified. And again, you watch. The initial hot take was entirely correct. I bet you anything, the toxicology report will find something. And even if it doesn't, it was still justified, and these guys aren't going to face any charges. If the DA there is dumb enough to actually charge these guys, they'll get off scot-free. Right now, and by the way, the police chief there is absolutely right. The governor of your state, in condemning this shooting, before all the evidence was in, predisposes a jury. Essentially, they would have to nullify the idea of putting these guys on trial anyway. Where are they supposed to get a fair jury trial? The governor of the state fucking came out and condemned them within minutes of the shooting. Again, without knowing that the officers had been attacked beforehand. Wow. And by the way, with the Democrats latching onto this, and now, 2 nights of additional rioting in Kenosha and Milwaukee and so forth, this is going to help you win Wisconsin, dudes. What the fuck are you smoking? Probably something less powerful than what this dude did before he decided it was a good idea to physically assault several police officers when they were trying to arrest him for an outstanding warrant. That's about all. Peace out.